I am Slick Nick, and you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to be able to complain without it seeming needy or selfish or weak, because there's totally a strategy to it. And even for me today, I use this strategy today at my job because I had to present some negative news about some of the things I'd been working on that fell through, that were out of my control. But step one is to basically just present it more as a heads up from a vulnerable situation. Hey, just wanted to give you a heads up, just want to give you an idea. Here's what happened. And then you name the negative thing. But then step two, you name what you're going to do about it on your end to focus on what you can control. And then thirdly, you make it very obvious that you're open to suggestions on top of that. So that's how you do it. It's a 3-step strategy. Do you need to complain about something? Do you need to basically present some negative news that will ultimately be filed under the category of complaining? Yeah, that's part of life. It's okay. But it's all in the presentation. So again, what you do, you say, hey, I need to share this with you. I want to give you an idea what's going on. So that way, it's more of I'm just relaying a message. Number two is you're saying, that's the news, but here's what I'm doing about it in my control, because mature people focus on what they can control, not on what they can't. So number two is, here are the things I'm doing aside from that to focus on the things I can control to fix this thing. And then thirdly, and I'm open to your suggestions, anything in addition to what I'm doing, let me know. I'm happy to do it. There you go. That's how you complain, and you don't make it seem like you're weak. Because let's look at the opposite of that. Let's look at complaining from the negative perspective, from the opposite of what I just said. Okay? So something isn't going right, something didn't go the way you planned it to, and you telling someone that. So if you don't do step number one, which is calmly relaying the conversation, the information to them, then you're gonna probably get emotional. You're probably gonna be very negative, and you're just kind of vomiting that on the person without kind of just calmly saying, hey, here's a heads up what's going on. It's more of bleh. So then the second thing is, if you're not saying what you can do about it yourself, you're just making it everybody else's fault, not your own. That makes you weak, that makes you selfish, that makes you needy. And then the third thing is, and this is very important, that you're asking for the person's input, any suggestions, I'm open to. But if you're not doing that, then how are you possibly going to get out of that? And this comes down to either you choose to have a victorious mindset, or you allow the default to set in, which is you having a victim mentality, that there's nothing you can do, this is just how it is. But meanwhile, someone like me, Slick Nick, my name in Greek actually means victorious, that's not a lie. Nicholas in Greek means victorious. And if that just happens to be my name, but since it is my name, it's pretty convenient that I am making that a big part of my identity. What can I do about it myself? How can I change this myself? How can I take control instead of casting blame upon other people and making it seem like, but it's not my fault? Well, here's what I'm going to say. It is your fault if you're not communicating what's going on to other people, if you're not focusing on the parts of it that you can control and that you can proactively do to make it better. And then number 4, if you're not asking other people for help and then applying those principles too. Because at the end of it, even if you fail the project or whatever it is that doesn't work out, now there's a record that you did what you could to stop the thing from happening that you didn't want to happen. Because you communicated, you did things to focus on what you could control, and you asked for the other person's help. There's a record of it. So it means that even if you fail, you succeed because you involve that person in the process. That's what's going to prevent you from seeming weak and negative and needy. And no, all of this is simply emotional intelligence. So if you like what you saw in this video, I invite you to look through my channel, see what other kind of videos that seem relevant, because I am very passionate about emotional intelligence. Because I know in reality, Even how much money you make in your career is not based on your IQ. I'm not smart. I don't have a high IQ, but I have a high EQ, emotional intelligence, understanding how to communicate with people, knowing how to assign emotions to things, knowing how to seem relevant to other people and being able to empathize with them. Your comments belong right here.